Boxing is related to politics. It is more than politics. I was entering the ring for almost 15 years, fought more than 200 times with 190 to 185 wins.
Точно, где-то 190-185 боев я выиграл. Не знаю, я сейчас...
I am a master of sports and boxing, and I received this title in 1997.
1997 года. Несколько раз стал чемпионом республики.
I became the champion of the Republic several times, 10-time champion of the region, participated in many international tournaments in Bishkek, it asked in Kyrgyzstan, in Tashkent in Uzbekistan, in Iran, the city of Tehran, in Moscow, in Krasnoyarsk. All these are in the Russian Federation, and I was also in Kazakhstan in Almaty.
В Алмате.
International tournaments were held here in Tajikistan too.
Проходили в Таджикистане тоже. В боксе тоже играет ум.
In boxing, the mind plays a role too. In boxing, you must also become smart and fast and of high quality. All these boxing qualities always help me both in the fight against the regime and in everyday life.
И в жизни само. Даже я дату помню.
I remember even the date and the month because it was Monday. I went to work and they told me that I was suspended from my duties. I was surprised and asked why.
Я сказал, почему? Они потом мне приказ.
They later showed me the order signed personally by the minister, that Ilkom John Ёқубов had to be dismissed from his job because he was a member of a political party, the Islamic Liberation Party of Tajikistan, that was in opposition, and they did not like this person. Because I was not a member of the party of the president, they dismissed me from work. For me, of course, this was a big blow.
Конечно, большой удар был.
As I said previously, it was the beginning of all the threats, pressure and surveillance I experienced, but it started with the sport.
Именно с этого спорта.
And the fact that I am still related to sports and politics is also the proof that they fired me from work.
Меня снимали с работы. I
am Ilkom John Ёқубов. I am 46 years old. I was born in Tajikistan, in the beautiful city of Kujand. At the moment, I live in Lithuania, in the capital city of Vilnius. I got to the Kyrgyz border at night, crossed this border, and then took a flight from the nearest city to Moscow. And then I took a bus to Minsk, then went from Minsk to Vilnius also by bus, got to Lithuania and immediately here. It was already August. In June 2015, I arrived in Lithuania. I was very worried since my family remained there, my daughter and wife. I was very worried. After my departure, they were looking for me. After some time, they found out that I had left the country. They were totally surveilling my family. After 3 months, my family also left the country. They came to Moscow, got a visa, and then came to me. Very harsh repressions began. Everyone was detained in Tajikistan. My mother, 2 brothers, and a sister. They detained everyone, beat them, tortured them. And then, on the same day, I wrote a letter to the head of the region. I wrote a letter and informed about the situation in Tajikistan, about my family, and published this letter in the media. The next day, the National Security Committee of Tajikistan released everyone. They, all my relatives, it asked close relatives who were detained, all left the country. They were very scared and all ran away, fled the country. Except for my younger brother. He did not have a passport at that time and he remained in Tajikistan, unfortunately. And we learned that in 2018 he was killed. It asked he was killed and thrown into the garage. For several days, the murdered body was left near the garages.
Гаражов, тело убитое. Этот момент очень
He changed my life.
изменил мою
I can say that in Tajikistan I felt threat, blackmail and pressure as well as total surveillance. We all lived there in fear.
испуги, жили там. И когда мы чувствовали,
In Lithuania, we felt safe and calm, and our son was born here.
родился сын, и сейчас сыну 5
He is 5 years old now, and this is very important for me.
значимо. Литва дает большую мотивацию.
Lithuania gives great motivation to fight against the dictatorship because, you see, why I like Lithuania so much is that it is the first of the countries that supported Ukraine already in 2014.
В 2014 году он первый государство,
It is the first state that supported Ukraine, and it has been close to Ukraine until now.
и до сих пор это
It is a source of pride for me and a source of pride for all Lithuanians. Lithuanians have proven once again that they are fighters for freedom, they are fighters for justice, they are fighters against aggression and dictatorship. This constantly motivates me.
все время мотивация. Конечно, я все время и в Литве, конечно.
Certainly, I receive threats all the time in Lithuania via Messenger, via Facebook, via SMS. Strange people say they will kidnap me, they will kill me here, they will bring me to Tajikistan in a sack and I will be held responsible.
В Литве очень много мигрантов.
There are a lot of Tajik migrants in Lithuania who came to work and those who just reside here with work permits.
Там работают, здесь живут.
I think they are very closely linked with our government. Some of them, maybe most of them.
Большинство из них дают им такой
They
задание.
are given the task to photograph us. They collect information about where we live, in which restaurant we eat, where we work, where our offices are, where we gather. Because we have the Tajik diaspora here, it asked they pass all this information onto the authorities of Tajikistan.
Во власти Таджикистана. Салам алейкум.
Можно сказать, он
You can say he is a real man. You can talk about him because he is very smart, talented, purposeful. Well, I will not praise him, but he has leadership qualities.
ну я
He always strives for his maximum achievement. He respects himself and respects others.
он уважает себя и других уважает. Нынешний диктаторский режим Таджикистана
The current regime of Tajikistan knew and knows about Ilkomjon's qualities.
сказали ему, что
They told him to leave this party, join them, work with them. They would restore his business, would not touch him, but he, accordingly, would not say anything about the current state.
тебя трогать не будем, но ты не
Ilkomjon, if he wanted, would have stayed. He had a big business there. He was owning the canteen. He built a house there. He was engaged in business, but he left everything. For what? For the sake of the fact that he, this is a quality that I respect, does not want to be
Я
dependent.
уважаю. Он не хочет быть зависимым.
Такие опасные моменты в Таджикистане очень много.
There are many such dangerous episodes in Tajikistan. I can talk about them for hours, of course, but the most terrible accident in Tajikistan happened in 2014.
Страшное это было в Таджикистане в 2014 году. У нас большой был офис.
We had a big office, a very big two-story office. In 2014, I was the chairman of the regional party in the Sugd region. We had a big meeting in 2014. All the regional representatives of the districts and cities gathered. We had a big council meeting and suddenly there was some noise. We heard some big noise and when we came out, we saw that there were representatives of the authorities and security forces on the roof. They broke the roof without permission and smashed the glass with stones. We were very scared, and we thought, what happened? It was a big provocation, and they wanted us to leave the office because many people gathered there. Outside, there were unofficial collaborators of authorities, all dressed in civilian clothes. They wanted us to come out and argue with them so that they could perhaps start shooting or maybe arrest some people there. It was a big provocation, and we left silently. We walked away, left the office, but they continued to tear our two-story office down. Tajikistan now lives in the atmosphere of fear, oppression, and terror, as if it were Stalin's regime. Yes, as if it were Stalin's regime. Those who criticize, who are dissatisfied with this government, they are all considered to be enemies of the regime. Our task is to awaken people so that they know their rights, know what crimes are happening. This is a fight for justice. This fight is honor and pride for us.
Честь и гордость. Все, пока.